So coronavirus has not only sparked fears across the world, but has also led to the spread of a lot of fake news. So be careful of the stuff that you actually listen and read about this outbreak of this virus. Now, Taiwan News had caught Tencent's website briefly showing the coronavirus death toll to be much higher than the official data. It was quickly corrected to reflect the official figures. Now, Tencent has denied all media reports, saying that the screenshots of the epidemic situation tracker on its website, it claims, are doctored. Now, we spoke to the journalist who in fact broke the story for Taiwan News, Keone Everington, and here's what he had to say.
The controversy over those figures. What's my response to it? Well, the first thing that a lot of people thought that it was fake. There were a lot of people that were very concerned, of course. I'd say the majority of people were simply very concerned because we're never hearing real numbers from China. We don't know what the actual numbers are. We know that it must be much worse, but there's no other source that we can rely on. And so when this came out, it was very intriguing because the numbers were vastly larger, but it's coming from a major website. Now, a lot of people are very skeptical about that because, why would this government, it's not officially government run, but of course it's closely tied to the Communist Party. Why would they release such data? Surely this is a hoax. And people showed how such a hoax could be created by manipulating the browser in a certain way. And you can easily put whatever you want in and make it look like it's from Tencent. So some people simply blew it off and said, no, this isn't real. But I interviewed a number of people that really saw this. They testified to it, and some even were willing to use their name and everything, that they actually saw this, and not just one occasion. It actually happened probably about 3 or 4 occasions. And the interesting thing about it is that the numbers are not random numbers. The numbers, which is almost kind of chilling, is the first set of numbers that came out, I mentioned in the article on January 26th, match almost identical the projection by a University of Hong Kong study that had predicted that on January 25th or 6th or so, there would be 75,000 infections of the Wuhan coronavirus in Wuhan. And that's what was showing up on this Tencent post. And then about a week later, so what this University of Hong Kong study was saying, that it would be doubling every 6.24 days. And so the next Tencent incident that occurred, the number was 150,000, which is exactly what the model had predicted. It was 154,000, something like that, but it was incredibly close to what the scientific model had been predicting. So that's where I realized this is something interesting going on here. Some people think somebody's leaking this data on purpose so that people can know what's really going on. Some people think something bizarre is happening with the fact that it's integrated with the entire Wuhan city with big data. I mean, Tencent, is a big tech powerhouse, and they might actually be able to aggregate this data and using AI or I don't know what, actually be able to extrapolate what's really going on. I mean, that's another theory. There's different theories why is this showing up? And then the other thing that was very interesting about the death rate, the mortality rate, was consistent between the two incidents, because there was the incident on January 26th, and then there was another incident on February 1st. Because in both cases, what happens is that the numbers show up for a short period of time, and then they disappear, and then it goes back to the standard government numbers. And but the mortality rate in both cases was exactly 16%. So that's quite eerie too, that in both cases the mortality rate is matching. If this is a hoax, it's an incredibly sophisticated hoax based on scientific modeling. I mean, they'd have to be incredibly smart people to be running a hoax like this. And actually be able to hijack the Tencent website, hack into it, put in scientifically based numbers, and then take it down and not get discovered and to hack it again. I mean, that seems more far-fetched to me than some other actual data leak.